Good morning, boys and girls, 8th graders. It's Thursday. Welcome to another distance learning / hybrid drawing lesson. And for you new 8th graders who are in the building today, I apologize I'm not there. Again, I think I had mentioned and posted in yesterday's video that I'll be away in Pittsburgh today for medical treatments, so I'll be unable to be in school. I apologize. I will look forward to meeting up with you all next week. And on the Google Classroom stream from yesterday, I put out a little message that hopefully you were able to bring this, I'm going to call it a pin square because it looks like a pinwheel, but it's a square, LOL. I hope you were able to bring this pin square paper with you to class. If for some reason you don't have it, there's an easy solution. You can get an extra sheet of paper from the teacher, from the substitute teacher, who will be handing out papers and envelopes, and you should get 10 sheets of paper, so you'll have plenty of paper, so you'll have plenty of extras. But all you'll need to do is redo your pin square from Tuesday, and the video will be in your Google Classroom assignments for Tuesday. Okay, but if you recall, there was some extra space, and we had integrated 8 different lines. Okay, and some of them are vertical, some are horizontal, most are diagonal. So this is basically where we left it. And remember, our goal is a thing called optical art, and optical art plays an optical illusion trick on your eyes and on your brain. So at the end of the project, a 2-dimensional piece of paper should represent some type of 3-dimensional movement. Okay? Now, throughout the video, you're going to hear me referring to these sections as triangular sections, or oftentimes I'll use the term cones or even tubes. Okay? Because at the end of the optical art piece, they really end up looking like tubes that are either flowing into the middle of the paper or flowing out of the center of the paper. Okay, so let's get started on our next adaptive lesson, and I'll show you how we're going to make some changes today. Okay, it really doesn't matter what triangular section you begin with. I'm going to pick this section right here. Okay, and my goal is to make 4 marks in each triangular section. Now the marks will be either kind of like a frowny face shape, or the opposite of that, a smiley face shape. They're going to end up being curved lines. Okay, I'm using a Sharpie marker just so that you can see it a little better, because I'm not at school. I'm filming, it's early in the morning, and I don't have my usual setup that I have in school, so I'm just using my cell phone. So I figured it would be easier for you to see the marks by way of Sharpie. So I'll try not to make any major mistakes, and you at school will be using your pencil, your eraser, and I don't know, I don't think you'll need your ruler today, unless of course you have to redo the pin square. Okay, so here goes my 4 marks in this tube. I'm going to start with frowny shapes. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, And I'm going to squeeze one more in at the top. There's 4. Now, just a little preface, and it already looks like it has a little motion to it. Just a little preface. If some of your marks, for example, your 4th mark, doesn't exactly fit onto the page, and half of it is on the page and half of it is off of the page, no worries. It'll all come together very nicely. Okay? All right, so what you want to do next is you want to pick the adjacent tube. It doesn't matter whether you go to the left or to the right. I'm going to go to the right, and you're going to make 4 more marks, but this time the marks are going to be opposite in their curve. So they're going to look like smiley shapes. And it's already looking kind of cool. And here's another little tidbit. You know, sometimes you will get to the end of a triangular section or a tube or a cone, and you might have a little bit of extra space at the end. It's okay if you've got a little bit of space at the end to actually add a 5th curvy line. So if you've got some extra space going on, fill it up with an extra curvy line, whether that be a frowny curvy line or a smiley curvy line. Okay? So I'm going to keep moving around the pin square, continuing the alternating pattern, and at this point I am back to the frownies. Now here's what I'm talking about up here. Do you think I could get maybe half or at least a third of a frowny shape in there? I did. So on this cone, I might actually have 5 marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a portion of a 5th one. And that's totally cool. All right, let me keep going. I'm up to smiley shapes. And let's see, I'll put just a little smidgen of a 5th one there. And as you can see, I'm moving my paper back to some frowny shapes. 2, 3. Now this one's going to be tough because I'm not going to be able to fit a whole lot of it onto the page. So this 4th one here, it just kind of vanished as it hit the edge of the paper, and that's okay. All right, this is all good stuff and it's all random. And I used to tell you kids when you were little, the cool thing about teaching you art is I show you one way and then I get 20 some different versions of what it is that I've been teaching you. Okay, so there's my 4th one there. It's kind of mostly on, but a little bit off of the paper. I'm going to continue moving my pin square, and sometimes it reminds me of a spider web. This one here, let's see, I'll pretend it's off of the page mostly, but then reconnects towards the corner. Okay, let's see, what am I ready for here? Smiley shapes. 1, 2, 3. And this guy here is half on the page and half off of the page. Frowny. 1, 2, 3. And I don't think I have much room up here at all for anything. So I'm debating, should I put just a little bit there? Or maybe just leave this one with 3 lines. Guess what? This one's going to be an exception. I'm just going to leave that one with 3 lines. Okay, let's move our way around the pin square. 1, 2, 3, and up here I'm just going to have barely a 4th line. Let's keep moving around the square here. Back to what? Frowny shapes, I guess. 1, 2, 3, and where should I put this one? 4, just a little bit in that upper corner. Okay. Smiley shapes. 1, 2, 3. Just a little bit of the 4th one up top. Okay. Let's go to this section with some frowny shapes. 1, 2, 3. Guess what? There's going to be another exception here. I'm just going to leave it at 3 curvy lines. Let's go to the next section here. What are we ready for? Smiley shapes again. 1, 2, 3. And then up top here, something like that, just barely on the edge of the page. Back to our frowny shape curve line. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, very good. And then this last section might be a little tricky because you got to somehow make these lines connect to these lines. It's not always easy. They won't be completely even, but that's okay. So I'm going to somehow put a curvy smiley line in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now remember, it'll be a little easier for you because you're working in pencil, and if you make a curvy line that doesn't look so great to you, or you'd like to adapt or change, then just simply erase it and start over again. Okay? All right, my video timer tells me that we're about at 13 minutes or so. Okay, so I don't want to make this video too much longer for you because it's hard to know the pacing in the class, and there'll be a substitute teacher there today, and it'll probably be a young person, and you know, who knows how the pacing will go. And I'm sure that, you know, the teacher will do a great job, and I'm sure you kids will be polite and respectful. But if you have any extra time, I'll just barely show you the next step for creating a really cool optical illusion. And I'm gonna cap my marker here, and I'm gonna switch on over to pencil, okay? Because I don't want to make a mistake. And secondly, most of you will be using pencil. And thirdly, the graphite will probably spread a little faster and easier on this video than my Sharpie marker would. My Sharpie marker might take forever, okay? But what you end up doing here is you pick a section with which to begin, and there's going to be alternating patterns with darks and lights, okay? So see how I pick this cone here, and I'm shading it in with my graphite. Okay? Now, when I say alternating patterns, here's what I mean. From the center point moving outward, you're going to skip a section. For example, this is dark, so this shall be light. Therefore, this next section, you guessed it, will be shaded in dark. It's also a bit of a challenge for me. It's not only early in the morning, it's not even 7 o'clock yet, but I don't have my glasses on, LOL, my artistic cheaters, as I call them. So I'm doing the best I can, staying in the lines. Forgive me if I go out of the lines like a kindergartner or a first grader might. When I taught some of you guys when you were little, that was one of our goals, to color inside the lines. Okay. Continuing the pattern, this section will stay light and this top section will be dark. Let me turn my page a little bit to stay on course. I certainly hope you all have a great day. I think it's supposed to be a sunny day, a beautiful day. It'll be a nice day for me to drive to Pittsburgh. So I hope you have a pleasant first day in the building. And you kiddos who are at home, again, it was so nice to be around you for those 2 days. All right, I'm going to show you one more thing because some of you might have time to shade in more than one tube. Okay, and this is nothing that has to be finished today. You're going to work on this for approximately, I don't know, 25 minutes or so. Okay, because by the time the teacher gets everybody in the room and settled and materials passed out and seating charts double checked and skyward attendance being taken and this and that and the other, you're going to have about 20-25 minutes. So you're not going to get this done today. We'll finish it tomorrow, and then I'll instruct you to post it tomorrow and what to do and this and that and the other. But let's say you get to a second or a third or even a fourth tube. What you have to remember is when you start shading from the center out, now not only should you alternate the patterns on each individual cone, but you will alternate the patterns on the adjacent cones, the ones next door. So here's what I mean by that. This little section is dark, therefore this little section should be white. It's almost like a checkerboard effect, even though we're using curvy lines and curvy sections instead of the usual square sections on a checkerboard or a chessboard. So as you can see, I'm now alternating darks and lights within the adjacent tube. And adjacent simply means the one next door, either to the left or to the right. Okay. And to finish this section off, all I got to do is skip that white area, and then up here there is just a teeny tiny section of darkness that I'll fill in like so. Okay. So I'm not going to go to a third tube, but let's just pretend I were. This would be dark. This would be light. This would be dark. This would be light. This would be dark. And that one would stay light. Okay? So I'm going to leave it here because my video is right about at 20 minutes. Okay? And I hope you kiddos have a great day. I tried to explain as carefully as possible. I think I did a pretty good job for being half asleep here. LOL. I hope you kiddos have a great day, and we will be talking real soon. And this piece of paper, when it's finished tomorrow, will be the one that you'll be taking a picture of and posting to Google Classroom. So you'll be posting that tomorrow by 3 o'clock p.m. And I think tomorrow is September 18th, if I'm not mistaken. Today's the 17th, and tomorrow will be the 18th. Okay, boys and girls, happy drawing. I'm going to upload this to YouTube now so that you can watch it on your Google Classroom. Have a nice day. Be good to others and be kind and respectful and polite to the substitute. Bye now.